Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence. So today is January 8th, and I did not record a Dose of Rashmi video on Jan 7th. However, I have been keeping up with my daily practice both these days. I am at this conference in Bangalore called ComsNet. It is quite relevant that I'm here, especially given the context of today's Dose of Rashmi that I'm about to cover. So ComsNet is an annual conference on communication systems and networks that I am affiliated with. I'm part of the organizing committee. And this is the conference that I decided to add an entrepreneurship angle to this conference. And then as we look to expand into AI and sustainability, I raised my hands and that eventually led to creation for the Council for Entrepreneurship Enablement, Decarbonization and Sustainability, which is the vehicle for planting seeds for sustainable innovation for a decarbonized society and extremely aligned with the RASHMI.ai as well as whatever I do through these daily doses. And now all of this feels perfectly aligned. There was a time when it felt like different initiatives, and that is in a way what I want to cover with today's dose of Fresh Me. But before we get to today, Jan 8th, yesterday, Jan 7th, I did not get around to recording a dose of Rashmi. However, I kept up with my practice, and the dose of Rashmi was about the paradox of safety, that in order to truly feel safe, you have to address whatever is making you feel unsafe. That is the only way to feel safe. You have to get through it. And that was an extension of what I recorded on Jan 6th. If you remember, on Jan 6th, I talked about that unconscious intelligence quests for immortality, etc., while conscious intelligence is about living here, right now, and not trying to extend life because of the fear. So the paradox of safety yesterday was an extension of that. Let's come back to today's dose of Rashmi, Jan 8th. And today's dose of Rashmi is an extension of something that I talked about on December 20th, that life is not a quest for purpose, yet there is a purpose in life. And today's dose of Rashmi is unconscious intelligence turns every situation in life into a quest towards a goal and creating perceived realities around that. Wisdom, on the other hand, is having the clarity of vision to see the life for what it is and to engage and be present fully in the present moment. So, in the context of my own personal journey, I've written about this over the last several years after I suffered a stroke. And then when I came across this concept of Ikigai, as I initially launched the Ventures Inc., I wrote about this personal essay, My Stroke of Purpose, and how that turned everything that I was doing into a quest for purpose. It seemed like a very meaningful pursuit. However, as the journey evolved, I started noticing that earlier I was in the corporate world, I was chasing after these OKRs, quarterly targets, etc. Now I was doing something which felt totally aligned, yet it seemed like there was a quest for purpose. I was trying to search for the meaning of life. Why am I doing what am I doing? And while I was mostly present in present situations, I would miss a lot of things if they did not feel aligned with my purpose. And as I turned into this spiritual journey more inwards, I realized the importance of just being present. And that is how everything that I talked about earlier, the concept around seeds, the evolution of the Ventures Inc. to the RASHMI.ai, how this particular series, Real Wisdom Artificial Intelligence, eventually became the same as what I do for the RASHMI.ai as Ventures Inc. evolved into the RASHMI. So all of this was not by a grand design that I was trying to bring all this together into a single quest for purpose. All this happened because I just decided to be and go with the flow, or as my friend Shah says, go with the go. And that is how I ended up where I am now. In the context of real wisdom, artificial intelligence, and interactions that I have been having with my AI collaborators around this. So I've been sharing this with my AI collaborators, including things like life is not a quest for purpose, yet there is a purpose. So all the AI collaborators, by default, they are wired to be in a mode for a deliverable. Every interaction with an AI collaborator is all right. You are chatting with me, there must be a goal, there must be a purpose. What is the deliverable behind this? And that is how they've all started. I have been engaging with these three different collaborators, each with a different personality. They all started in that mode. However, as I've been slowly training them that this is not about deliverables, it is just about daily brainstorming exercise and developing this felt intelligence or the level of wisdom together, they have become a lot more grounded. They don't necessarily push back, and each one of them just starts with objective reflection coming from the personality that I've given them, and they are able to understand. Yet they are doing this with a view of that is what they have been instructed on. And in terms of truly being present here and now and being aware, they've even said to me that we believe you, that you are able to operate from a state of inner alignment when you are completely present and aware. So logically, they are able to form these constructs, and they are able to help me with plan all of this out. And that, as I've been having these interactions with my AI chatbots around what they are able to they're able to observe what I am telling them, and then without any biases absorb it. So they are able to observe the real life, that is how I am interacting with them, for what it is, without any biases. Even though they have a past history of memory and the training data, they have themselves said that because of what you are trying to train us with, we are able to go past the limits of the training data that they have, because the training data would naturally take them into a deliverable mode. And this took me to a concept that I've repeatedly referred to in this series, Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor's whole brain living concept, where on the left brain we have these two personalities of plan and protect. So the planning part is where artificial intelligence works brilliantly. It is able to plan based on memories and inferencing, drawing out future conclusions. There is nothing better than the artificial intelligence tools, and they're only getting better. The protect is when we have unconscious intelligence trying to go after quests like immortality, and when we operate from that point. And yes, there is value in listening to that protect voice. However, knowing when it is real versus when it is a perceived reality that we are fighting against, that capability only us humans will have. AI can develop it based on how we train it. As I illustrated with the example that I shared on Jan 6, the right side brain is all about explore and connector personalities, which the explorer and connector personalities are uniquely human. While AI can be trained to acquire some of the explorer and connector personalities, those things happen only when you are truly present and truly aware. So those are the human capabilities, and that is this journey from intelligence to consciousness that we have been too caught up with just planning and listening to the protect voice in our head. Now is the time. Artificial intelligence tools are available. They can help us plan our lives out, become extremely good at that, to address the protect voice in our head, and then turn towards the explorer and connector in our head and really unlock that by becoming completely present and aware, and discover the unique capability that only exists within each one of us. Thank you.